In this video, you will learn the history of the creation of Apple. You will learn what difficulties Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak faced, creating a multi-billion-dollar technology empire literally from a garage. You will learn why Jobs was fired from the company he founded and how he managed to come back to make Apple a world leader. And I will also tell you about legendary Apple products that have become symbols of innovation. From the failed Newton to the revolutionary iPhone, which literally reinvented the smartphone. Is it true that Jobs had an overly rigid management style that made employees afraid to even speak to him? And was the first Apple logo really inspired by a mystical story about Isaac Newton? And you'll find out if there are any dark secrets behind the creation of such iconic products as the iPod and Macintosh. And why in recent years there were rumors that during his lifetime Steve Jobs could use not only creativity, but also hard intrigues to leave competitors behind. It is this fascinating story that made Apple more than just a company. It became a legend. Apple was founded by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne in 1976. Their first computer, the Apple I, was hand-built by Wozniak and sold for $666.66. The company started in a garage, but within a few years it became a leader in the field of personal computers thanks to Jobs' innovation and ability to sell dreams. In 1985, Jobs was forced out of Apple due to conflicts with the board of directors. This period became the most difficult in his career, but he founded Next, which later became part of Apple. It was through this company that he returned in 1997 and turned Apple into a tech giant, launching a series of iconic products. Apple has created many products that have changed the world. Macintosh, 1984, opened the era of graphical interface. iPod, 2001, revolutionized the music industry, and iPhone, 2007, became a real revolution in communications. Each of these products combined style, functionality, and innovation, winning the love of millions. Jobs is known as a genius, but his management style was extremely rigid. Employees were afraid to ask questions or criticize his ideas. It was rumored that he could scheme against competitors to destroy them, as well as manipulate the team to achieve his goals. However, these dark sides made him even more mysterious. Apple's first logo depicted Newton under a tree, an allusion to the discovery of gravity. But later it was replaced by a minimalistic apple with a bitten-off piece. There is a legend that this apple symbolizes knowledge taken from a biblical story. This logo has become an icon that symbolizes innovation and passion for change. After returning to Apple, Jobs introduced a new philosophy: minimalism in design and maximum attention to detail. This strategy made the company not only profitable, but also iconic. In the last years of his life, Jobs worked on the iPhone and iPad, which became real breakthroughs and established Apple at the top of the technological world. At times, it was rumored that Apple was successful not only through innovation, but also through aggressive competition. For example, it was said that the company could purposely create an artificial shortage of products to attract attention. Jobs was often accused of manipulation, but this only added to the mystery of his image. Each Apple product became not just a device, but a true symbol of style. The iPod revolutionized the music industry with its ease of use. The iPhone changed the way people communicate, and the iPad created a new tablet niche. Importantly, each Apple product became an icon of design and technology admired by millions. Jobs' management style was legendary and controversial at the same time. It required absolute dedication and attention to detail. Sometimes he was called a dictator, but he believed that it was this kind of rigidity that helped create brilliant products. He could criticize projects down to the smallest detail, but always strive to achieve the ideal. Apple managed to create not just products, but a whole culture. They didn't sell devices, but emotions, a sense of belonging to something special. Apple's marketing has always focused on dreams. The slogan, "Think Different," called on people to think outside the box and change the world. This allowed the company to become a global brand. In 2011, the world lost Steve Jobs, but his ideas live on. He left not only a successful company, but also a philosophy that inspires future generations of engineers, designers, and entrepreneurs. Even after his death, Apple remains a leader in the world of technology, proving that his legacy is stronger than time. Apple's success is a combination of innovation, design, marketing, and strong leadership. Jobs created the perfect formula. The product should be not only functional, but also aesthetic. All this makes Apple more than a company. This is an example of how ideas can change the world if you believe in them and fight for their implementation. Steve Jobs was known for not being afraid to make tough decisions. For example, after returning to Apple in 1997, he cut most products to focus on a few key lines. This decision saved the company from bankruptcy and made it possible to create iconic products such as the iMac and the iPhone. There were legends about Jobs that he had a special ability to convince people of anything, even the most ridiculous ideas. This phenomenon is called Jobs' reality distortion field. Because of this, he was able to motivate teams to create products that seemed impossible to implement. Apple's marketing has always been characterized by simplicity and creativity. Their advertising campaigns, such as 1,984 inches for the Macintosh or Think Different, became iconic. The company has always focused on emotions, making people feel like they are buying more than just a product, but a part of something bigger. Apple is known for its policy of protecting user privacy. The company has often come up against governments and even the FBI demanding access to user data. This made Apple a symbol of the fight for digital rights, strengthening the trust in its products. Apple has always followed the principle of less is more. Their products are known for their minimalism and ease of use. Jony Ive, Apple's chief designer, created products that became the standard of aesthetics in technology. This approach has made Apple a style icon that competitors try to emulate. Apple has not only changed the tech industry, but also the way people perceive technology. Thanks to Apple, personal computers, smartphones, and tablets have become part of everyday life. Their influence can be seen in every aspect of modern culture, from design to the way we communicate. After the death of Jobs in 2011, many thought that Apple would lose its position. But under the leadership of Tim Cook, the company continued to grow. Products like the Apple Watch and the Apple Pay service have proven that Apple continues to maintain its leadership and innovative spirit. Today, Apple is the largest company in the world by market capitalization. Its value exceeds $1 trillion, and sales of the iPhone make up a significant part of the profit. This success was made possible by Jobs' vision and his ability to create products that people around the world love. In 2001, Apple opened its first store in Tokyo. It was a risky decision because at that time sales via the internet had already begun to grow. However, Apple stores became more than just a place to shop, but a space where people could get to know the products, get advice, and experience the brand's culture. In 2003, Apple launched the iTunes Store, which completely changed the music industry. With the ability to buy individual tracks instead of entire albums, the company has made music more accessible. iTunes was the revolution that saved the music business from the crisis caused by piracy. Apple is actively implementing environmental initiatives. They were the first among the technology giants to declare their intention to use 100% renewable energy in their offices and production. In addition, the company has created programs for recycling old devices to minimize the impact on the environment. Apple Park is not just a headquarters, but a symbol of innovation. This $5 billion building is shaped like a huge ring and is an eco-friendly, solar-powered office. This is the place where future products of the company are created, as well as a demonstration of the philosophy of minimalism and harmony with nature. The iPhone didn't just change technology, it became a status symbol. According to statistics, every third smartphone in the world is an iPhone. With each new model, Apple improves the technology, adding features that become the standard for the entire industry, such as Face ID or the bezel-less design. Apple and Samsung are fighting the fiercest battle in the smartphone market. Their patent lawsuits have become world famous. Despite this, the two companies even cooperate, because Samsung supplies screens for the iPhone. This paradox makes their rivalry even more interesting. Apple is famous for the fact that its customers remain loyal to the brand. People often joke that iPhone users will never go back to Android. This is the result of thoughtful design, product, and service integration, and Apple's ability to create an emotional connection with its audience. Apple Watch has become the most popular smartwatch in the world. It was originally created as an accessory for the iPhone, but over time it has evolved into a health device. The Apple Watch is capable of measuring heart rate, doing an EKG, and even saving lives thanks to its fall detection function. Apple is actively developing new areas such as augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and even electric cars. Everyone is waiting for the company to unveil its Apple Car, which could change the transportation industry just as the iPhone changed the world of communications. Apple remains at the forefront of innovation. In 2019, Apple launched the Apple TV Plus streaming service, which immediately became a competitor to Netflix and other platforms. The series The Servant and documentaries by famous directors received critical acclaim, and in 2022, Coda from Apple TV Plus became the first streaming film to win an Oscar for Best Picture. Apple integrates artificial intelligence into its products. Siri, launched in 2011, became the first voice assistant that made people perceive smartphones differently. In addition, artificial intelligence is helping improve iPhone cameras, facial recognition, and even health through the Apple Watch. Apple surprised the world with its approach to advertising. The company uses minimalism and emotional messages that make its campaigns unique. For example, the 1,984 inches commercial released during the Super Bowl has become a cultural icon. It has been compared to a manifesto of freedom against the tyranny of technology. Apple has turned accessories into a separate line of business. AirPods, released in 2016, became a hit and actually started the fashion for wireless headphones. They are not only convenient, but also sync with the Apple ecosystem, making them an integral part of the brand. Apple is considered one of the most secure brands. iCloud, data protection, and Face ID technology have become standard for smartphones. The company has repeatedly stated that it never sells user data, making it the choice for those who value privacy. Every year, Apple holds the WWDC conference for developers, where it presents new products and software. This event brings together thousands of developers from around the world and millions of viewers online. It has become a place where Apple demonstrates how it sets trends in technology. Apple actively supports education through programs such as Everyone Can Code. They help schools and students learn programming. iPad and Mac have become popular tools for learning in schools, and the company continues to introduce new solutions for the development of education. Apple is often criticized for high product prices. However, the company justifies it with quality, innovation, and service. What's more, despite the cost, people continue to choose Apple because of the brand's status and confidence in the longevity of its devices. Apple is investing in the development of augmented reality, AR. iPhone and iPad are already equipped with AR-Kit technology, which allows you to create interactive applications. Rumors indicate that the company is preparing its own AR headset, which could be a new revolution in the world of technology. Despite the popular story that Apple was created in Jobs' garage, Wozniak admitted that most of the work was done elsewhere. The garage became more of a symbol of humble beginnings and a dream that grew into a multi-billion-dollar company that changed the world.